trillion dollar industry of the ecosystem services that these reefs offer. A billion people rely on them in some way, shape or form for food directly, and obviously things like tourism as well. So whichever way you look at it, corals are important to almost everyone.
So we're seeing these images now. When you look at these images, what are you thinking? What should they be like?
Yeah, so it's very devastating to see. We've actually been witnessing coral bleaching. The first mass coral bleaching was recorded in the 1980s. So this is not really surprising. And scientists have actually been predicting this and showcasing this for many years. Corals act as sort of canaries in the coal mine. They're really important, and we say they're sort of crying out to people now, saying they're in trouble. It's not a death blow, it's not the end, but they're very close to really starting to collapse. And by 2030, in 5 years' time, 90% of reefs around the world are thought to be basically functionally extinct.
90%?
Yeah. So already we're seeing in this recent bleaching event, so this has started in 2023, and it's been one of the longest consecutive bleaching events around the world. 84% of coral reefs are experiencing bleaching already.
You brought in some examples for us this morning, haven't you? But this particular, do you just talk us through this, because you're saying that this indicates that the issue with bleaching.
Yeah, so what we have here, in front of us we've got some coral skeletons. So they're dead corals. Coral skeleton is made of calcium carbonate, but effectively limestone, and that's the white skeleton that you see. What you do see with bleaching, though, is it's not dead. So when we talk about bleaching, there actually is this translucent tissue layer associated with it, and this is effectively showing that. Obviously, this is dead itself. It's a preserved specimen, but this is preserved, and these are actually bare skeletons. So this brown tissue would be all over the corals. This is actually varieties of massive coral, and they're thought to be more tolerant. And this is again something that's relatively unique in what's happening in Ningaloo, is the large tolerant corals, the bleached varieties, belong.
When you say there are corals that are more tolerant, is that a little bit of hope, maybe?
Yeah, so obviously what we need to do, the response of this is primarily due to things like climate change. So we do need to tackle our carbon footprint first and foremost. There's other more local stresses, so overfishing, pollution, even things like the sunscreen
It's coffee,
that you
guys.
put on your skin can impact the coral reefs. So there's a lot of things that people can look at, and we can tackle those stresses right from the onset. That's the first thing we do.
Hi, Kang
Science has also
Vlogs.
shown that we can actually help the corals along in various different ways. So we call it assisted evolution or assisted gene flow.
Where are you from, Kang Vlogs?
And it's where you start to either
Oh, Vietnam. I'm in Vietnam too.
or even disease-resistant corals together.
But I'm from Philippines. I'm in Da Nang now.
And Kate has been showing that this can be done in
Kang Vlogs, can you please
What can people do to help?
subscribe
So
me?
primarily it's tackle your own carbon footprint. A lot of people
Help
are
me
looking
to
for,
monetize,
politicians
please.
to make those bigger moves, and we need to press on that as well. But you should always reduce, refuse, recycle where possible. So we really need to look at ourselves as well if we want other people to change and stop global warming. So this will be travelling less, this will be not buying in excess, consuming less.
Thank you so much,
Doing
Kang
just things a little bit
Vlogs.
more within our realm. That's along the lines of like recycling plastics and things like that. All of it is stepping stones, but all of it does help. And then education as well. So primarily we do quite a lot of education, obviously coming from the university, but we've also got a children's book as well. And it's really getting that next generation to actually understand and be passionate about what we can do and what we can change.
Professor Michael Swift, thank you very much indeed for coming in. I love the fact that you're based in Derby, landlocked Derby, but coming there to talk to us about coral. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kang Vlogs.
England and India kicks off their heated clash at Lord's last week.
So Hugh, is that Old Trafford cricket ground?
Can you
ready
please
for the
comment
start?
to
Looks like
my
people are
videos
right
so
behind you.
I will subscribe you too.
Fans have been streaming through. They were queuing up a minute ago. Some of the first fans in were India fans, and they create this incredible atmosphere. Every run that India score will be greeted with kind of sound that welcomed the Beatles on stage in the 1960s. We'll have plenty of that about an hour and a half's time. buy here beer if you want it, or you can listen to TMS on site. These fine ladies are giving you a chance to do that. But I'm going to leave you with the only statistic that I think that I have sourced myself this morning, because it's a belter. I have very irresponsibly not checked it, but it's come from somebody incredibly high up here at Old Trafford, and he told me that of all the test matches played in history since the 19th century, never
I still there
has a
Kang Vlog.
captain
Kang
decided
Vlogs.
to bowl first at the toss and won. This is a bat first pitch. Nobody has done it the other way around. Guess which captain likes to bowl first more than any other in modern test cricket?
Go on.
Ben Stokes.
Of course.
Stokes is very unwilling
Thank you.
That's it from us today. Breakfast back with Naga and Charlie tomorrow morning from 6.
We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
What is newscast?
There's a simple answer. It's about the news. It's a podcast.
It's not too noisy and shouty, it's fair, it's open-minded.
The news is so bonkers. None of us have ever known anything like it.
Looking for the truth. It's not about opinion. Actually, it's quite fun. More fun than goes to that.
That's what it's where. For what you need to know, when you need to know it, listen to newscast every day on BBC Sounds.
Where do we come from? Who were the first? Homo sapiens.
People spend their whole lives trying to find a fossil. How significant is this?
You might even know the story of human evolution, but now we are discovering it's more dramatic than we ever imagined.
This was something that wiped out 13
Thank you, Kang Vlogs.
Human. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Do you play Mobile Legends?
The more you see, do you know someone who's fallen down a rabbit
It's
hole?
look, it's all Vietnam.
In my podcast series, I investigate
I'm
the
from
rise of
Philippines.
social
Where's the
media.
Philippines? Yeah, this
Are
one.
algorithms pushing potentially harmful content to vulnerable patients? The journey gets curiouser and curiouser. Is there a way out? Mariana in Conspiracy Land, is on Radio 4 and BBC Sounds.
Good morning, Katie. You're live this Wednesday, and we find out how a brass-neck cheater in Liverpool was caught in fraud court after rip-offs exposed. Today, wrecked by rodents and written off, the rats wreaking havoc on cars.
There was soya-based products in the coating of the wire. I was just completely shocked. So I've never heard of anything like this before.
Plus, the mobile home sold without planning permission. The owners are now at risk of losing absolutely everything.
Actually, what they've purchased is a holiday home. The consequence of that is you can be evicted at any point.
Welcome to Rip-Off Britain. Hello and welcome to the program that shines a spotlight on the companies you say are letting you down and then holds them firmly to account. Today, the phantom energy bill that won't go away. One woman's fight to get to the bottom of a bill that simply isn't hers.
I don't know whose account it is, but I know for certain it's not mine. It's just a complete mystery.
But first, car trouble. There's plenty of cases that hit our mailbox about breakdowns and repairs, but this twist was a new one on us. We've heard from drivers whose vehicles have been severely damaged by rats. I know, absolutely dreading this one, but we'll see what happens. But it's not only us who are hearing about it, because the RAC says it's recording record numbers of breakdowns caused by these creatures, by rats. But shortly I'll be coming up very close and personal with one of our very good friends to try and understand better why it's becoming such a problem and what we can all do about it. But first, here's more on the shocking consequences when a rat gets into your pride and joy. Heidi Anderton from Forest Hill in South London always wanted a VW camper van.
I just want to go out and see a little bit more of what's going on in the world, and I liked the freedom of it.
And in 2021, she spent £63,000 on this beauty, a second-hand VW van converted into the camper of her dreams by a specialist company.
What I liked about it was that it was compact. I knew I
could take that vehicle anywhere, into little villages and to more remote coastal places as well.
But in October 2022, when driving on the motorway with her son, Heidi was alarmed to see warning lights suddenly appear on the dashboard.
I thought it was probably a sensor or something. As we continued our journey, then we started getting electrical sign coming up on the van. That was very concerning.
The van was still under warranty, so Heidi took it to VW to diagnose the fault, and she could not believe what they discovered.
VW had sent me a video underneath the car of damage to the wiring, and I was shocked when it was hanging down from the vehicle.
According to the mechanic, rats were responsible. Chewing away at the wires, they had disabled various components. Heidi was absolutely dumbfounded.
I was just completely shocked. I'd never heard of anything like this before. I just didn't think rats would be targeting cars. I thought about what could be attracting them, so I looked in the van and there was no food sources in the van. There was nothing in the vehicle that I knew of that was attracting them.
And the road-related repairs would not come cheap.
The cost was about £400 to £500, and the wiring wasn't covered under the warranty, but as a gesture of goodwill, VW said they would pay part towards it, and I just thought it was a one-off. Because it's a new van, I didn't think it was going to happen again.
But then it did. In January 2023, the rats returned, and this time the damage was even worse.
The damage to the vehicle was over £1,000, and one of the concerns I had was a safety issue of them chewing through these cables underneath, and how they may affect the driving of the van.
Heidi had to pick up that bill herself, but she still couldn't work out why the rats were finding her VW campus wires so irresistible. So she did some research online.
One of the reasons that came up about why this was happening is because there were soya-based products in the coating of the wire, and that was what was attracting the rats to eat it.
Bingo! For Heidi, that was enough to lay the blame at VW's door. Plant-based materials like soy are considered to be more environmentally friendly than traditional plastics. But believing that the materials VW had used in the wiring could be attracting vermin, she wanted the company to do something about it.
I asked them if they could coat the wires or cover them or wrap them in something to stop the rodents being attracted to them. But what they've said is that they can't wrap them because there's too much heat underneath. They can't tie them up because it'll be a health and safety issue. And basically they've just kind of left me hanging with no support or no prevention for the future.
Unhappy with that response, she took her case to the Motor Ombudsman. It's not a legal body, but is able to order member organisations to put things right. And it had a view on the potential use of plant-based materials in the wiring.
The Ombudsman highlighted that it is commendable that the VW are using more sustainable products in their wiring, which I completely agree with, but not that it's food sources, because that's going to attract rodents.
In its judgment, the Ombudsman said that if wiring materials made from food sources are indeed attracting rodents, it raises concerns about the suitability and longevity of these materials. It added that occurrences like Heidi's are not uncommon with vehicles that utilise plant-based materials in the vehicle's wiring. But despite its sympathetic position, the Ombudsman said the warranty was clear. Wires simply weren't covered. Heidi would have to pay, leaving her worrying that it could all happen again with her ending up even more out of pocket.
It's just ridiculous, because I don't know every time when I go to use that vehicle if I'm going to be stranded somewhere.
Breakdowns caused by rodents are on the rise. The RAC reported a 55% increase in the year 2023. It's a nightmare scenario that Sophie Rees from Swansea knows all too well. In October October 2022, she spent £2,500 on a second-hand Vauxhall Zafira. But during a routine trip to the garage, a mechanic spotted telltale signs that rats had made a home in it, and just like Heidi's VW, they'd made a beeline for the wires.
There was rat poop and bones and rubbish in the car. It looked like the rats had taken it into the engine to nest, but also chewed on the wires.
The first repair cost Sophie around £100, and not long afterwards, she was forced to shell out a further £300 when it happened again. But when, just a few months later, the little critters struck for a third time, a mechanic said it was curtains for Sophie's Zafira.
He looked at the car and noticed there's more chewed wires and it's not repairable. Given the age of the car and the value of the car, it just wasn't feasible.
Sophie's car was a write-off. She had the car scrapped and her insurance paid out, but her premiums are now a whopping £145 a month, 2.5 times what she was paying before. And that has hit Sophie hard.
I can't afford that. I'm skipping meals to be able to have a car for my kids. A car that safely outside my home, but I have no way of preventing the rodents getting in there. The insurance just they don't have.
Vauxhall told us it had no comment to make on Sophie's Zafira. But when we contacted VW about Heidi's van, it told us there are no products in wiring or pipe coating which would actively attract animals. It added that rodents can seek out chewing materials and nesting places, gaining access through very small holes, and there are areas of vehicles that cannot and should not be completely sealed. But for Heidi, her love affair with the VW camper is over, and she wants shut of the van once and for all.
I've spent a lot of money on that van, and I think that VW have a responsibility to resolve it in some way, whether that be covering the components or anything, or buying the van back off of me. I can't afford to keep paying on this vehicle, and I just can't see a way out of this. I just can't see a way forward.
I have to admit, I feel very sorry for those girls in the film and what happened to their vehicles. But in a moment, Julie is going to be right outside here on the piazza talking to pest experts on how to protect your car from the rising numbers of rats. But first, I'm joined by one of the little culprits out in the Cod Street, as well as wildlife expert Scott Adams. Scott, have a minute up front. I don't think that'd be great if that rat came over here. But anyway, maybe you should introduce me to him.
So this is Anne Rattaway. So this is the type of rat that would unfortunately be coming into contact with any chewing wires in your car. But she can handle it, so she's a little bit more friendly than you find when they're out in the streets.
So the thing is, we've obviously seen the film, and all the experts, including the motoring organisations, say that rats are on the increase. Are they vastly on the increase?
I'm not sure that there's been a population explosion of rats, but because of, especially last year, of long wet winters, lots of cold weather, I think there's been more rats that have started to look for shelter and food in places where people could actually be living.
Which brings us to why rats are so attracted to pipes and things within an engine. Why is that?
I think it's a whole host of things, really. I think the first thing that we need to kind of know is that rats are rodents to grow constantly, so they have to chew on things all the time to keep their teeth short and to keep them so they're not so sharp. So nothing's off the menu, really. They have been found to chew through concrete, chew through metal.
I don't think there's nothing's off the menu.
Nothing's off the menu.
Actually, let me dig the menu here, because these are like hard as rocks. These are coming from a vehicle. This one, for example, and they just eaten through.
Yes, obviously, if we left this in her enclosure, overnight, and if you'd be exploring that, she'd be digging through to see what was inside it. She might be taking parts back to make a nest. I mean, these are all the things that a rat would do if they were contemplating using inside somebody's car as a new nest inside.
So Scott has been a most interesting day today, most interesting guest, and thank you very much for being Rattaway into the studio. And at this point, we're going to hand over to Julie, who's out on the BBC Piazza.
Well, after all that, the question is, if rats are truly
for your car, who are you going to call? Well, as it happens, we have here Chris and Mark, who are from Pest Interceptors, and they are going to let us into all the secrets of how they get in there in the first place and what you can do about it. And Ian here, who has brought us this lovely vehicle, and Ian, I gather you've been a victim of that attack. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's happened twice actually now. Through the dealership, they identified that the rats had actually chewed, or rodents had actually chewed underneath the vehicle and destroyed quite a lot of the wiring and sort of the sensors and things. So.
And I presume it's quite a costly business repairing all that.
Yeah, it costs about £800 in repairs so far.
Well, Chris and Mark, I imagine this is the sort of story you're very familiar with. I mean, is it becoming more common?
Definitely over the last few years it was, we've seen one initially it's only one thing now and again, but it's getting more.
Yeah, it's definitely going up on the chart, isn't it, rather than down.
And what can you do to deter the rats apart from installing a rather large cat?
Well, there's an awful lot of things out on the market that we come across on a regular basis. This is called a rat mat. We'll touch on that in a moment. But there's also anti-rodent spray. There are a couple of different types of this, and the great thing about this, it works similar to the stuff that you used to put on your children's nails to stop them biting their fingernails. So a rat will still go into the engine bay, go to chew it, but that's not sore, that's disgusting.
Maybe it's the
I have actually, yeah, I've been using it for about a year, and it's worked so far.
So that's the cheap one. What's the rather more expensive?
It's the top end of the market.
So at the top end of the market is a thing called a rat mat. And basically, down here we have an energizer pack which can be plugged into a car battery or to the mains, and that puts a light voltage through all of this. It doesn't electrocute the rat or the mouse, but it's not a very nice sensation to them.
Well, I like the whole approach, which is basically to deter, but not to kill.
Exactly.
That's been lovely that you've got this beautiful thing in, and I'm having nursery now.
Love it, absolutely love it. It's a dream.
Excellent. Well, thank you both very much, and thank you for coming in. Happy nursery. Now, time for our advice clinic, where we put you in touch with a team of top consumer experts. In today's advice clinic, we're joined by Dr. Gary Brighter, and we're speaking to Patricia Rock, who's actually taken time out of her holiday in Mallorca to tell us about a rather bundly issue that we all dread: potholes. Hi Patricia, thanks for joining us. We know that potholes are a national nuisance. You've had your own tale to tell with one. Take us through what happened.
Well, on the 30th of May, I was driving through Winter Avenue. There were 16 potholes. Unfortunately, I was forced to hit the biggest one because of the traffic, and I didn't realise that the cracks were here on the driver's side of my car. So on the 6th of June, I took my car to have it MOT'd, and the garage said, "We've got a cracked wheel.
Eya!
Pass unless you have a replacement." So,
Why not Ili answering me?
the cost was £630.
I miss you, ate.
Patricia, how frustrating. We've got some of the photos.
How are you?
What did you do next after you've done that?
I sent them to the council,
How are you?
showed them the complaint.
Oh,
Well, the last thing that happened was
Hello, honey.
huh?
Smiley, that's better.
Essex County Council
Good.
checks it had made a year earlier had shown no dangerous defects in the road surface. And as the road had been categorised as requiring inspection only once a year, it couldn't have been expected to take any action to prevent the damage to Patricia's car that happened just a few months later. I will pick up with Gary here to
Ano
see
yung
what
mag-
he makes of what you've been through.
Ha?
Frustrating situation, of course, because
Ha?
it's expensive as well. Now, to bring a successful claim for pothole damage, you have to bring
Ili ha? Ikaw hawak ka ng tubag sa kung tawag ha?
that there's been damage to your car. You've also got to show that
I miss you, ate. Ate. I miss you. Ate.
or they should have known about it.
Ate. I love you, ate.
Well, we have been in touch, as you can guess, with Essex Harriers, and we
Okay.
tried to share what they
Okay.
said. They said all compensation paid are investigated.
I love you, ate.
Are paid if the council is liable. It
So
added
much.
that it provides a defence for highways authorities against claims of this nature.
I miss you, ate.
Reasonable steps were taken to ensure that the highway is not dangerous.
Oh my God.
In order to enforce Essex Harriers'
I don't know. I think my internet. Ate, I miss you, ate.
That's their response. I don't think
Okay, ate.
The thing is, they said the last time they looked at the code was in August 23, and obviously they haven't looked at the code since.
Gary says this is key information and it should be considered taking
Nanawag kong Eli. Eya. Nanawag kong Eli. She keep canceling my call.
In fact, since the inspectors carried out in the summer, there was a winter
Dili to bago ni Eli ako ang call.
so the third argument would be that
Why?
inspected following the winter, and if you've done that, then
Dili to bago ni Eli akong call.
the damage. So I think go for it.
Trisha, are you going to?
Dili to bago ni Eli ako call.
Look at that. Thank you very, very much indeed. And I know that was so much to take in. So what we
Oo. Nag-call ko niya, wa niya tubaga. Adi na siya na...
And as a cyclist and a driver, I have a pet code of hot tunnels. They really can cause terrible damage. And
Dili na, wala na siya galablab na ko.
email us at repopcontent@bbc.co.uk.
Ah.
Or you can send us a message via WhatsApp on 01138 678 1321 or by Facebook. Just search for BBC Repopcontent. On my favourite Civic Book Together. The address is Repopcontent.
I love you, ate.
Salisbury, N522LH. Still to come, we've been covering issues with
Ate.
for many years, but it looks like serious problems persist. After hearing about the BBC investigation that might make you think twice of reopening this kind of pregnancy. Below to another thorny topic that here on the programme is as important to us as it is to you, energy bills. During the winter, I guess we're all very utilities, higher electricity layers, carrying what we analyse that. Well, it's bad enough trying to budget your own energy costs, but what if you determine that you have to put the next range's energy as well? That's exactly what happened to Red Deer in this next story. She has been faced with a whole scenario, but she's not taking over one down. Indeed, far from it.
Palayo. Ate, palayo, ate, palayo. Palayo, ate.
It's not mine. It's just a complete mystery.
When you get someone's living in a home in Carmarthenshire or Wales for almost 40 years, it's a small home from Buford, not personal animals.
My mum and dad bought this property in 1986 and I've lived there ever since. I'm obviously in
Asa.
and it's for home.
Over the years, Wayne has changed her energy supply several times.
Oh.
But since
Naon sana?
she's been with Octopus Energy. Her energy value is
Ha?
Everybody else. Washing,
Dayong.
copper,
Katupong kuan ba? Naku nabasang bata na na-aksidente. Gani sa... Gani. Luya, no? Kanos anak ko? Oh my God. Luya, oy.
nearly at the end of the form said, Well, I've traced her to your address using what we call a track and trace system. She doesn't live here, never has been. She said, oh, okay, I'll give you the box. If you can destroy what you've had in the post, then that will be fine. It's the end of the matter.
Luya, no?
Another letter arrived. So when we got back to her, so I sent her
Oo.
an email and had an immediate email back saying that they couldn't discuss the matter with me because it's not my account. Wendy was back at square one, but over the next few months, she proved a dogged detective. And she made dozens of phone calls and sent numerous emails to Oprah in an attempt to resolve the whole issue. All the while, she continued to receive payment demands, and they were rising fast.
Sige, kanihara kung sige panawag ni Iya, ay liba. Kanihara kung buntag sig panawag ni Iya, wala ay ni Ili, wala, wagid niya iyarang i-cancel. Sige, ang kuniyag kuan.
The situation unexpectedly escalated in October 2023 when the result was got a call from
Gi-ignore kong Ili.
we had an unexpected and an unwelcome visit. He said, "Marilou bailiff, he's a hospital officer on debt." I explained to him, as I have explained to Over Energy, probably at this point at least 20 times. Jessica did not live at the address, she never had, and was very activist. The enforcement officer checked for 2 meters at the property and confirmed that the meter number on the deck did not match up with any number, but I'm afraid that was little comfort. To have somebody on the drive that to do with a debt that was nothing to do with this. It's deeply distressing. Determined to get to the bottom of this unfolding mystery, in October 2023, Super Sleuth Wendy gathered together the evidence and took the findings to the energy ombudsman, who found them okay, setting out the actions they will immediately take to resolve the issue.
So the first remedy was to provide him with £20 for the register. Secondly was that I'd received a full apology.
But there was one remedy that was to prove problematic.
Pisto.
To reactivate the energy account, as if it had not been finalized.
I took that to mean that they were reopening the account in the name of the secretary. The address said that Wendy was actually able to open up the address. I accepted the resolution and I thought that was the end of it.
But it wasn't.
Ray? Ray, Ray.
And the following month's bill
Ray, Ray.
a disastrous misinterpretation of the ombudsman's instruction.
They removed Jessica from the account and it now bore the name of
Ray, Ray.
at her address. So suddenly, debt was now ours in the
Rather than find Jessica and the paper meter attached to her account,
Dito kas meeting?
and the debt.
Dito kas meeting?
What's more, rather than going straight into that account, the £200 Wendy had been promised had been knocked off the debt.
It hadn't been resolved. In fact, it had gone up 2 years and it was resolved. And at this point, where do I turn next?
Naiutang nimo?
I don't know what options here now.
Naiutang nimo?
8 months after the debt was transferred to her name,
Naiutang. Kano sa na aksidente?
to a resolution.
Since the divorce has started, I mean,
Kano sa na aksidente?
the ombudsman who keeps waiting for responses from the
Kano sa na aksidente?
vote who say that
Kano sa na aksidente? Ha?
investigating. There'll be times I've been on my own.
Oo.
Apologies, but it's not really surrounding this actions.
And despite her double detective work, she still doesn't know who the elusive Jessica is, or indeed where the mystery meter may be found. The trail has gone cold, and when has been left picking up the pieces?
How can this be continuing when it's not
When we spoke to Oprah, it suggested
Buhi na.
that Jessica's account is opened, it could have been
Buhi na.
Wendy's property narrow, because it has a similar address. Besides,
Pero kwao na gisas Ginoo, wa na gisa mahimo.
and confirmed
O kwaon na gisas Ginoo, ano siya mahimo?
Outstanding balance linked to her own or any neighbouring property. As for the energy ombudsman, it said it reviewed all the available evidence
Second life na guna niya.
and outlined the required remedies. But after this initial decision was made, new information was provided that made it clear that there is more to this case than initially thought. It said energy suppliers are legally required to act on its findings and reiterated that Wendy's issue has now been resolved.
Ay! Kuya! Dito kas koan? Dito kas meeting?
May meeting unya pa mang Sabado.
Nakabutang lagi dito.
Sa kunya pagkakita.
Sa koan? Sa...
25 pa.
A number of energy bill problems in the program over the last few years. I have to say this one is particularly shocking because the energy ombudsman is actually quite clear that Wendy didn't owe this, but Echo still accused her for it. Now, it is normally down to me to mix up. Now,
Ay ko na siya tawag ang dudong kay para musuhid ng iyahang mga mangod o kuya. Kuya dapat.
So when it comes to the energy ombudsman, you think without a definitive answer to everything, what do you make of that?
Kuya.
Hi kuya.
Ensure that the bill is not now linked to Wendy. I think one of the problems though is that Wendy doesn't have those
I love you kuya.
Syra Erdea class advisor. Assembly time 9 a.m. at Provincial Teachers. Alam ko sa mali, important announcement. Founders Day activities. Okay. Fun run. Fun run mo, fun run. Plus 100 points for all subjects. For all subjects. Akin.
Asa man?
Di pa kanin. 100 points. For all subjects. Ay, kalamian for all subjects. Total 200 points. Cheering. Squat competitions. 100 to 120 meters per level. Participants must register in the fun run. What do you wear? Provincial t-shirt. Mr. and Mrs. Provincial t-shirt. Ito saan eh? Ano itong kuwan? Wala pa yung bago di ay? Wala yung bago? Ay, talo. Isang yung pagbasa. Malakot ni August 1. Presentations of candidates. August 22. Patches night. Buwan ng wika celebration. Nesanis. Local OPM. Local solo.
Way back in 2011, he lived here in the beautiful Devon countryside, in a property known as a park home. It's a term that describes a pre-fabricated mobile home at a designated site. And John really did make it.
Panran siya niya 100 points. Ako may pakikilan siya rin. Kinanapasok yun.
The 4 years after moving in, life began to change. New owners took over the site, and it wasn't long before they started to make changes.
Uy, lubat. Asa dapit. Asa dapit ang Asa dapit ang fun run?
Panran, mapitiser will collect the payment. Alam ka, may bayad na din.
Pila?
Registration fee 99. Deadline of
experience is symptomatic of why problems for park
Mapi
owners.
teachers
In
will
fact,
collect
fewer
the
rights to enjoy their homes and less security
for
for
us
residents of traditional housing. Something that seems to concern
while
the
for us
standards officer
if
Martin.
participated.
Owners can increase the rents year on year. They're entitled to increase the pitch fee each year by the rate for I wouldn't advise anybody in the current climate to buy a park, frankly, because even if you are absolutely certain that your park home site operator is absolutely splendid, how do we know whether he or she is going to have to sell up?
Campaigning for Change with Sonia McCall as a Park Homeowners Justice Campaign.
Ang sarang dami akin na akong anak na si Kanier, pero wala ko nag-aalis sa niya.
Pretty widespread among the
Asa?
country.
As a park, have a residents association, yes.
Wala pa na. Si Kanyar pa.
Back in 2011, Sonia was fighting hard for the rights of mobile
Si Maribel na may sabaw.
including that annual pitch fee rises can no longer be linked to the higher RPI measure of inflation. As we're about to find out, she has had some successes, including publishing new legislation in 2013 and 2023. But in 2024, a wide-ranging BBC Panorama investigation revealed owners are still facing challenges.
Hello, Alison.
Sige na, Pin.
Including being resold homes they plan to live in all
Kuan ba?
on sites that only had permission for holiday homes.
Sa 29.
Hearing for the
Sa 29. Sa 29B.
That's what I call from Park Home Owners Justice Campaign, who featured in that film, joins us now. Recently reporting on the recent BBC Panorama investigation into park homes. Rory, I'll come to you in a moment. Sonia, first of all, lovely to see you back, and lovely to see you in that film as well. And you still continue with your work, working on behalf of park investors. What means you have these years?
Stop cell blocking. The cell blocking was when the site owner had the approval of the buyer, and he was able to stop the sale for any amount of reasons, and it was at epidemic levels across the country whereby people could not sell their homes. So we set about changing the law. In 2013, we managed to do that, and I think the 2013 Act came for it.
Your campaign was actually instrumental in that act. That means pitch increases will be based on CPI, not RPI. What difference does that make to people who have these homes?
A tremendous amount of money that is in their purse at the end of the year, I would say, on the payments that they make. And bear in mind that their pensions go up by the consumer price index and not the retail price index.
So you've done some hard work, you've won some battles. Are the battles over?
No, not at all. We need to see the 10% commission charge changed. That is the dreadful charge. Residents have to pay when they sell their home to the site owner. These homes can cost up to £500,000. That means that when they sell their home, they would have to give the site owner £50,000 for doing absolutely nothing.
Okay, so talk to me also about site owners. And there are some site owners who are not. How do you describe them? Right, tell me what's going on.
Basically, we have unscrupulous site owners, and the main thing I think is this has in the 10% very much, because if we can stop the 10%, we're not giving the incentive to the roads to stay in the industry to get this money.
Rory, just give us a sense of what's going on from what you can see.
There's probably about just shy of 200,000 people who live on these park home sites. And I spoke to hundreds of people who live on these sites, and it will range from low-level intimidation to some of the more serious stuff. And you've two main types of parks. You've got residential parks.
Songo, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. Hello. Can you please subscribe me? Help me to monetize.
Homes left unfinished, maybe without proper electric, poor heating, lack of proper running water, all the way up to homes being surrounded by planning. And we also looked at the selling in the holiday park side, and you'll have loads and loads of people asking.
Please.
Twilight years in a lovely home, surrounded by good meals, and enjoy the rest of your life. And they're told they can live there all year round. They buy the property, or they buy the van for maybe 150 to 200,000.
Lots of money.
A lot of money, life savings, all the money they've got, and they find out maybe a couple months down the line actually what they've purchased is horrible. The consequence of that is
Sengo, please.
the devastation of the whole point. And the real tragedy of all of this is the human cost.
We approach the British Holiday and Home Parks Association, which represents the UK park owners and
Can you
owners.
please, guys?
It told us there are important legal differences between buying a holiday caravan and a park home.
Yeah.
Independent legal advice before spending a lot of money on a caravan or park home. It also pointed us to an explainer video, which is on our website at bbc.co.uk/ripoffbritain. So Sonia, you've been working on this for a long time.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Improve protections for park owners.
Where are you from? Songo? Songo? I'm from Vietnam. Oh! I'm in Da Nang now, but I'm from Philippines.
Instead of the local authorities going in immediately and saying, no, stop this, you're not allowed to do this, take it up, they don't. And then the homes come on, people buy those homes, and they're buying on a park that's not really licensed.
Nice to meet you too.
A dedicated park officer.
Can you please support my videos?
Regulatory body from central government.
Please.
When we put those comments to the Ministry of Housing,
Help me guys to monetize.
it's supporting local councils to use existing powers to tackle
I'm from
taxes,
Philippines.
adding that it is aware of the concerns around site owners' commission on park home sales and will set out a plan on that in due course. It pointed out that selling a holiday caravan without clearly setting out that it can't be used for residential purposes is already an offence, and that local authorities are able to take action against site owners.
There will be people who are really interested in this type of home. So what is your advice to them?
Philippines.
They will certainly do their homework. Go to local authorities, bring in a solicitor to deal with it. You would do this if you were buying a Leatherpoint home. This is no different. This is your home, it's your life savings, it's everything that you've got. And you must have somebody legal behind you to look at everything that you could fall down on.
Rory and Sonia, thank you both so very much for coming to talk to us. And Rory's investigation is available on BBC iPlayer. Just search Panorama.
You don't know Philippines? Search Philippines.
I'm afraid that's almost it for today. If you need a refresher though on how to protect your car from the rats,
I don't have ball pen here. Wait.
head to BBC iPlayer.
I need to write it down.
Just search Rip Off Britain.
Oh, sorry, I don't have ball pen.
Topics we've covered in today's program. And it's not over yet.
Philippines, guys. Philippines.
Questions to our brilliant experts, Sarah and Gary, but Daryl's a need to be clear. Okay, Gary, this one for you. Nigel Webb ordered a denim jacket from a retailer through an online marketplace, but the jacket didn't fit. He requested to return for a refund a few days later, but he's been told he isn't entitled to one. What can he do?
Well, he is entitled to one. So the good news for Nigel is if you buy from a business, even if it's an online marketplace, you have
Yes,
to
I'm
still
okay.
online direct with the business. And under the Consumer Rights Act, if you're buying online, you have 14 days from receiving the goods to change your mind about them and send them back, and you don't need to give a reason. So he absolutely can ask for a refund.
Like Sarah, this is for you. Patricia Williams asked why a retailer is allowed to offer a discount only on its mobile phone. She says she struggles to use apps due to a medical condition, but the retailer said she could not access the discount only on her phone.
I think Tricia isn't alone in feelings of frustration like not being able to access some of the discounts retailers offer. Now, Age UK has looked into the whole issue, particularly digital exclusive, and reckons that almost 6 million people who either don't have online access or they're confident using
Hi, I cannot. Welcome back. Thank you for
not the last we've heard of it yet. I'd say Tricia
watching my live,
and other organisations that take it.
even it's boring.
Gary, this is from Brian Byrne. He goes to his daughter saying her car has been at a local garage for repair for 5 months following a breakdown. It still won't start, and she now has billed £4,400. The garage has asked her to sign a disclaimer to stop any comebacks on
I hope
faulty repair or overcharging. They
help
also
me
say
to
to keep more
monetize.
cash. What are their rights?
No, I just finished.
Well, first of all, if the car's been there for 4
I'm
months and
defeat.
it's still not working
I'm
properly, then she absolutely should
because
not
it's
be
very
paying
long.
it yet. She should only pay the bill when she's satisfied that the goods and services provided are fit for purpose. And at the moment, they're not fit for purpose if the car's not working. So she shouldn't be paying all of that money. She also should not be signing a disclaimer. If she had been asked to sign a disclaimer, if she'd signed it, I would say it was an unfair contract term and unenforceable. The last point about the cash, actually, a business can decide how you should pay them, so they can say you must pay in cash, but I would say in that case, get a receipt and
Okay,
ask them
bye.
to confirm
Thank
that they are
you
registered
for
for that. If
watching.
they are registered for that, make sure that the price you've paid is inclusive of that.
Lots of them. Thank you very much, Mary. And lots of them. But anyway, that I'm afraid is where we have to leave you for today. Thank you all so very much for your
I'm in Da Nang now, Vietnam.
We'll see you again soon, but from everybody in Newport, Britain, bye-bye. Goodbye. Mandy has found herself in no unfortunate situation. Audition for it, has worked towards the new series on iPlayer, and to hear about cold conniving criminals who run from the law. Listen to Norton Ever Fugitive on Sounds.
Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the heart.
The Journey with Flyby crime drama on BBC iPlayer.
I have a friend, and your mother is roaming her little girl. I'm gonna pick me right. You took from Mars. This is no type of joke.
The new series of Mrs. Right Boys starts Friday the 1st of August on BBC One and iPlayer. Find out how justice was served to a brutal burglar in Fife. Crime Watch Court here on BBC One after a multi-million fraud uncovered.
Every year, around £52 billion is stolen from
Yeah, I'm playing Mobile Legends.
But up and down Britain, an army of fraud fighters
Mm.
win it back.
They were stealing from the taxpayer, robbing the public purse. We saw a man who was living a lavish lifestyle.
The money could have been used for extra doctors, extra nurses,
From paying for the police and our health service, filling in potholes and emptying our dustbins, to making sure everyone has a roof over their head.
Outside the scale of the shots.
That's money that could be spent on public services.
The investigator's mission has never been more vital.
Where I'm from, Philippines.
They're completely despicable and they deserve to feel the full weight of the law.
It just makes some good tips to catch them.
The fraud squad are on the case.
Today, when a fire breaks out on an illegal waste site, it costs the taxpayer over £500,000. And unearths a shocking £4 million in unpaid tax.
This site operator defrauded landowners, defrauded the taxman, he stole money from the public purse purely for his own benefit.
6 minutes left, guys. I will end the live.
To fraudulently claim £350,000 in benefits.
I have to deal with them. I've turned back to squad and trying to stop them. There's no stopping them, but the sheer greed that can go.
A healthy environment doesn't just benefit every physical health. It can also environment, and criminals are making serious money from dodging landfill tax, costing the UK economy more than £1 billion each year. Luckily, there's a specialist team cracking down on the fraudsters.
Wales Creek has got an enforcement team leader in the East Midlands working for the Environment Agency. We investigate any environmental crime, any large-scale environmental crime, or we like to call it big, bad, messy environmental crime. So not just small-scale fly tickets, but anything larger than a van full of waste material deposited in a field, or people running illegal waste sites where they're not following our environmental legislation. We work the same way as the police work to investigate these types of crimes and bring these people to justice.
So when vast amounts of rubbish are found being illegally stored on rural land in Leicestershire, Pete and his team are called in. They quickly discover the waste is being kept in barns on 2 separate rented plots of farmland.
The local authorities have been contacted by 2 farmers who have been approached by a gentleman who wanted to rent some shared source of land in order to store some waste. The sites weren't connected in any way. The 2 landowners didn't know one another.
And neither of the landowners suspected there was anything untoward about how the man was planning to use the land he was renting from them.
They were told that this gentleman was going to bring in some baled clean plastics that were going to go off for incineration and generate power.
They agree a deal, but it's not long before the landowners start suspecting they've not been told the full story.
3 minutes left. Abe, 1 hour live.
10-15 tons at a time of large bales of waste material.
No.
And it's not just more rubbish than they were expecting, it's also contaminated.
In Da Nang, it's really hot here. Super hot in Da Nang. Look guys, super hot. See?
And the man renting the site should be paying a hefty tax bill to dispose of it.
2 minutes.
At the time of this investigation, that was £20
Landfill sites are also tightly regulated to make sure they're suitable for the waste that's been dumped there.
and smell, as well as fires.
And back in Leicestershire, the farmers are already starting to notice exactly these kinds of problems.
This started to become concerns because
1 minute guys, I will end the live.
The landowners confront the man, who says he'll get rid of some of the rubbish on their land. But they're already worried enough to raise the alert.
They contacted the Environment Agency, asked us what we could do.
They decide to investigate, and what they find is horrifying. There's an estimated 200 tons of waste.
Yes, I'm here in Vietnam.
Both of these sites are in rural communities.
I'm here in Da Nang beach. Da Nang, Da Nang. So, how did you subscribe me, please? Please subscribe.
Investigators urgently need to find who's behind both these.
Please subscribe me.
It was really important for us to get out, talk to those landowners, and try and find much information as we could.
Okay guys, bye-bye. I will end this live. Do you love Vietnam? Yes,
Investigators examined the contact
I
details
do.
given to the landlords. They're identical.
Those names didn't match exactly, but telephone numbers and addresses did match, which meant we were able to link to this woman who
You're welcome. I really love Danang. Every night I'm walking, jogging in beach area. It's a lot of people walking, running, workout. Kinat, welcome back.
Being stored in rented farm sheds. It has all the hallmarks of the same fraudster. And investigators have no idea of the level of criminality they're about to uncover.
We all make mistakes. After all, we're only human. But in our next case, a fraudster uses an error in an official letter to launch a brazen double deception.
Chat. What?
Marilou Holt Vlogs, and I've seen fantastic videos and fantastic videos.
Based in Liverpool, Marilou works with the police, HMRC, and the Department for Work and Pensions, investigating people they suspect are defrauding the public purse. The job demands meticulous attention to detail, and in the last decade, Marillou's seen it all.
Nothing shocks me more. So that reviewed cases in the last 10 years. That could go to the highest level where history come.
And when an unusual case lands on Marillou's desk, he knows he's got a challenge on his hands. It comes from the Department for Work and Pensions.
But what we are looking to is an individual who is living in Manchester.
Originally an asylum seeker, the man had been granted indefinite leave to remain in the UK 9 years earlier and had started claiming benefits.
He's claiming various benefits, such as housing benefits, income support allowance, disability benefits, on the basis that he had no income and he was disabled. But this is document showing all the benefits coming through his bank account, from his disability allowance.
Guys, I don't understand what you're talking.
400 benefit payments over 9 years. So far, no problem. As a UK resident, he's entitled to state support if he needs it. But when the DWP looks more closely, they notice something unusual about his disability claims form. It seems he's ticked almost every available box.
He was claiming disability allowance on the basis that he was severely disabled. He should have walked under the having a shower or living inside. It's just basically take everything that's possible.
This blanket approach to the phone rings alarm bells. So investigators go undercover to check whether his disabilities really are as extensive as he claims. And the footage they gather paints a very different picture.
This individual is walking in and out of his car, walking to the shop, completely inside their house. He has no walking stick. He walks naturally fine. Nothing wrong with him.
It's a shocking discovery. But when they look into his financial records, they realise this is just the tip of the iceberg.
The deal with went to his financial report and sent a full picture of how much money he received. What they discovered was that this defendant had 26 bank accounts. He also had over 9 years
A lot of them have been. It's a massive red flag and suggests fraud on a much larger scale. You can't have that smoke on you because then they're decided to potential fraud. Then investigators discover a second address in London linked to the suspect's bank accounts. We had a system check to establish who was living at the loan address, and they identified a second individual living in there who was linked to the bank account to the person who was actually investigating. The second man's name is strikingly similar to that of their suspected benefits cheat. Just a few letters are different. And that's when a shocking possibility starts to dawn on them. This is when it's suspected, and these individuals was in fact the same person. They start examining the dense paper trail of official records, applications, and claim forms. And when they finally untangle them, they realise this fraud started nearly a decade
Guys, what are you
ago
talking about?
when the man was granted indefinite leave to stay in the UK. The letter he'd been sent by the Home Office had contained mistakes, a misspelling of his name and the wrong date of birth. Mistakes he decided to cash in on. When you see the letter, you've got people stuck in the idea that it's a man. Using that letter, he applied for national insurance number, and once he got that number, that was effectively going to any fraud he wants. Just 10 days later, the Home Office realised their error and sent out a new version. The Home Office sent out a correct letter, correct date of birth, and a correct phone. And that letter was specifically said, I just left the first to phone letter. But it was already too late. Now he had two names, two dates of birth, and two national insurance numbers. He could put in two sets of benefit claims. Under the second item, he claimed for employee allowance, he claimed for disability allowance, he claimed for housing benefits, the council tax benefits. He claimed literally every benefit range. And when the trick worked, he just kept going. I suspect people, if you get rid of it, he made this return, he didn't get caught, and he thought, well, actually, there's an opportunity to make more money. And as the team scour this fraudster's financial footprint, they soon find evidence of how he's splashing taxpayers' cash. The evidence stacking up, it's clear this man isn't just claiming benefits he's not
Okay, guys.
entitled to.
Talk
He's
to you.
effectively doubling the amount he's stealing from the public purse. Time to strike. Officers simultaneously raid both his Manchester and London properties. Leading up to the raid, he was arrested and taken to the local police station. In the interview, he offered a prepared statement. In that statement, he said that he received a letter from the Home Office with incorrect name and date of birth. But there's no way this excuse is going to cut it. Especially as officers have a copy of the second letter he got from the Home Office correcting their mistake. Now Maxud must prepare the case for court. The biggest challenge I have faced in this case was the volume of evidence that was presented, the number of statements, the vision of the exhibits. It's no easy task to unpick the elaborate web of deceit this man is woven. All in a bid to line his own pockets. He triggered second identity, he turned a number of benefits and bought names. And on top of all that, he was pretending to be severely disabled. When I was reading the surveillance, I was quite surprised and shocked. This individual clearly is blatantly using the system blind.
And over the last 9 years, he's falsely claimed hundreds of thousands of pounds from the taxpayers' pocket.
This deal became over £349,000. He's not really obtained benefits, which this dealership became bad. There's no stopping it, but she agreed that he's going.
But now, the game is up. In court, he pleads guilty and is sentenced to 25 months in prison. He'll be deported on his release.
When I look back at this case, I feel the hard work is paid off just in the shoes. I personally feel that those who obtain benefits publicly is not disgusting. Fraudsters claiming benefits have complete disregard of what we can do.
The fraudster doubling down on benefits cheats yet again. Meanwhile, in Leicestershire, the environment agency has taken on a third step they believe is to hang two illegal landfill operations. But before they can track him down, a rubbish fire breaks out at a third site in neighbouring Nottinghamshire, with devastating environmental consequences. Fire crews are first on the scene.
They were dealing with a very large fire at some disused chicken sheds. But what was reported to be inside these buildings was lots and lots of bale waste, the same sort of bale waste that you see at the other two sites in Leicestershire. Both of these sheds were on fire, and there's a huge plume of black, horrible smoke that was going across the nearby villages.
And the smoke is only part of the problem. This illegally dumped waste risks contaminating the surrounding land with dangerous pollutants.
I'm here.
It can be extremely difficult to tackle this type of fire with plastics. You use a huge amount of water, and if you can't stop it from escaping into the ground, there's a risk that it can contaminate groundwater, and then that's water that we can't use for drinking or water.
Okay guys, bye.
Cleaning up the local soil and waterways could cost